Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? Check out rockbottomcoins.com for the cheapest and fastest coins anywhere. Use code ZIRK for 10% off your order. And if you guys want to compete in tournaments for cash prizes, make sure to check out TourneyCrypt.com.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video. And today, I'm going to be going over my personal favorite chems to run in Madden 20. Now, I'm not going to make this video the best chems to run because personally, I don't know the best chemistries to run. I will say this, I'm pretty positive I know a couple of them, but I don't know all of them just yet. I'm still learning the game, still figuring out some stuff. The game's been out for a week now, so really nobody should be making a best chemistries to run because you can't really know by now if you haven't really tried out all the chems. So personally, not a fan of that yet. Anyways, of course, I'll make that video in like a couple months probably once I've actually done all the chems and tried out which ones I personally like the most and which ones I think are the best. But this is just going to be ones that I personally like to run and why I'm running them. So I'm going to get into this. Of course, starting off on the defense side of the ball, it really depends on your type of scheme. Me personally, I run the 3-4 defense, which means that I need to have pass rushers. I have both, my personal scheme, I have my two outside linebackers pass rushing, and of course I have my left end and my right end. My DTs I really only have in there to stop the run. When it comes to offense and defense for me, I like to run two different schemes, and I'll go over that here. You guys can see from this chemistry, I'm running pass rush on my defensive linemen and my outside linebackers to get better pass rush. You get power move, finesse move, which is big when it comes to pass rushing, impact block, and pursuit. Those are all big. Press and catch doesn't matter for me. You can see here down to tier 5 and tier 6, we get another impact block, power move, finesse move. So that's really big. That's why I like to run those. When it comes to actually using defensive ends, what type of chems you like, I personally love Unstoppable Force. I think it's the best one so far. Fearmonger is good, but honestly, Unstoppable Force is super good because you just get to the QB so quickly. Reinforcement and, of course, Run Stubber both for the runs. It's whatever to me. I personally like Unstoppable Force when it comes to pass rushers. And then, of course, we can go over these as well. So I am running currently Reach Elite, Power Specialist, and Under Pressure. I think that Power Specialist is definitely good. Faster power move animations during the pass rush. And remember, guys, you can only have 3 abilities on offense and 3 abilities on defense in terms of like X Factor or Superstar players. So you have to pick really wisely. I currently have my 2 X Factor ability, the 3 on defense, 2 on defensive ends because pass rush is big this year, and 1 on a cornerback. And I'll get into why I do that. What you guys see here, Power Specialist, faster power moves, pretty simple, fast power, that's really good. Reach Elite, the ability to tackle / sack while engaged with blockers. This is big if someone tries to cut around the edge, they get too close to you, you can reach out and tackle them or in general sack them. And then Under Pressure, bigger area of effect of QB pressure and disruption. If they don't have the best QB, and in general, if they have like that Baker Mayfield, he seems to do really bad under pressure, so having that bigger pressure is pretty big. Taking these other ones, I mean, Homer, to me, an indoor baller, there's just no point in having those. I don't think there's even a reason to have those because you really don't know if you're going to play at home. You don't know if you're going to play in an indoor stadium. So to me, it doesn't make sense. I can understand Clutch if you want to run that. Edge Threat, again, I haven't played a defensive tackle kind of scheme for me, so Edge Threat doesn't make sense for me personally. Unfakeable, he's a defensive lineman, and Secure Tackler. I mean, defensive linemen really don't mess up on tackles. So, Secure Tackler doesn't make sense. Maybe on a linebacker, yes, but on defensive ends, these are the chemistries that I personally like to run. On to my cornerbacks and my safeties. Like I said, I like to run 2 schemes on defense, and I like to run lockdown over on the defense side of the ball because, of course, that helps a lot when it comes to coverage. I get 1 catch, 1 play break, 1 tackle, 1 press, 1 man, and 1 zone. That's obviously what you want to be running when it comes to cornerbacks, and eventually, once we get higher overall players, when we get ×3, ×4 these chems, that's when I'll be able to max out lockdown and pass rush. I think it's worth it to run 2 separate chemistries. And of course, when it comes to cornerbacks, Acrobat is big. Diving swats and interceptions, I think that's a really big thing in the game. And when it comes to these other chemistries, I definitely like to run tip drill when it comes to corners or safeties. The reason I put it on 2 pass rushers and not a linebacker, but instead a cornerback, is because basically coverage is really important as well when it comes to your pass. Having a lockdown cornerback out there is pretty big to me, and I like to have 2 really good defensive ends to try and get some pressure on the QB. Tip drill is pretty good for tip passes. I think I'm also going to go with Lurker. I haven't tried these out yet, so I'm not going to give you guys like feedback on those. So I don't really know about that. Personally, Shutdown, I think it's probably the best one around on cornerbacks. Tighter coverage and more interceptions on contested coverage. You can go with Zone Hawk, more catch knockouts and interceptions in zone, but personally, I like Shutdown. Now, if you guys are deciding to go and use a chemistry on a middle linebacker, I have some opinions on that. I think you should probably go with Secure Tackler. You get a high success rate on conservative tackles, which basically is almost guaranteed. It used to be guaranteed in years past. really didn't work every single time though. But Secure Tackler, I think, is probably one of the better ones to run. And of course, Tip Drill's okay. Unfakeable as well. I really like to use Unfakeable. Decreased chance to be faked out by ball carrier moves because juke move and spin move is really big this year. And we'll get over that, especially when we get to the offense side of the ball. So if you're going to be using a linebacker, probably should go with Unfakeable, Secure Tackler. And you can go with Tip Drill or a Clutch possibly. Not really sure what the start ability is. Let me go ahead and buy this just to show you guys here what Shazier personally gets. He gets Tackle Supreme, Reachly Unfakeable, so Tackle Supreme, decreased fake out chance, and better conservative tackles. So, yeah, that's literally Unfakeable and Secure Tackler in one. So if you can get Tackle Supreme, and then maybe you want to go with Reach Elite and then Clutch or Tip Drill, that's not bad. Now, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, I recommend you go with one QB, one wide receiver, and one halfback for your ability. So when it comes to wide receiver and in general offense, I like to run West Coast when it comes to my quarterback, my wide receivers, and my tight end. And also backup offensive lineman. That helps a lot with getting your chemistries up there. Just use backup alignment. So, of course, with West Coast, and then I'll go into why I prefer West Coast over Go Deep. I actually ran Go Deep all last year. Now, you guys see with Go Deep this year, you get beat press, break sack, throw power, spec catch, and you also get some other stuff like deep accuracy, deep route running. In my opinion, you really don't have a lot of time to throw deep this year. That's why I don't think Go Deep is the move. And another thing, something that I found myself doing, and in general, I see it basically by everybody online, a lot of the times now, because you can force passes over linebackers' heads and they basically will not get an animation ever, I think that West Coast is the best one because with West Coast, you get catch, pass block finesse, which of course just affects your offensive lineman, catch in traffic, and throw under pressure. Throw under pressure, like I said, under pressure is really, really important, especially when you have a player like Baker Mayfield, might have to have the highest throw under pressure. Or in general, under pressure really does affect a lot this game, and it makes your throws very, very inaccurate. With the West Coast, you get that. You also get catch in traffic and catch, which if you're throwing it over linebackers' heads, you're probably going to have to make the catch and take a hit from a safety. So I think catch in traffic is a big thing this year because you're in pretty tight coverage, or in general, there's usually someone around that's going to make a big hit on you. You might drop the ball. Catch in traffic, you'll be able to hang on to more of those. And again, short accuracy, short route running as well. And when it comes down here, you get more catch traffic, and more accuracy and route running. So that's why I like to go with West Coast when it comes to your offense here instead of Go Deep like I ran in years past. Now, when it comes to the abilities, for some reason, I don't actually have a first one on him. I guess because I haven't decided on this, which I believe I was going to go with in Specialist anyways, just because it really depends on your type of scheme with these. Personally, Torry Holt, I'm going to put in Specialist, which I actually thought I had this one unlocked. For some reason, I don't. When it comes to number 2, though, I personally like Route Technician. You get quicker cuts while running routes, which is good. And a lot of people are going to be confused by what does not stack with itself mean. Basically, you can get it in these others. So I can get Route Technician over here as well. You can't do that. It doesn't help you at all. So do not do that. Route Technician, perfect. In my opinion, though, the quicker cuts just makes it better. In general, it's literally every single cut. And then Outside Apprentice is actually what I like to run. I've seen a lot of people running Slot Apprentice. I personally like Outside Apprentice because you get this really, really glitchy route called the Post Corner Route, which is a double move basically, and it is so OP that I literally ran it versus my friend Poodle, and he put 9 people in man coverage on Torry Holt. He got open. I promise you guys, he got open. So Outside Apprentice is really good. Plus you also get like the post route there and 2 other routes as well. So it's very nice to have those extra routes. And it really just depends how you run your offense. You want to go with Outside Apprentice, or maybe you like to throw your slot receiver more and you want to go with Slot Apprentice. Personally though, I like to target Torry Holt quite a bit. So that's my personal favorite when it comes to those abilities. Wide receivers, you gotta go with Double Me. Win aggressive catches versus single coverage. It's the best one by far. Rack them up, you win rack catch versus single coverage. Don't care for it. And the same with max security, high success rate on possession catches. I want to go with Double Me. First off, it makes your opponent have to put 2 people on someone if it's to be an over top safety or whatever. Or if they don't, you're probably going to catch the ball in an aggressive catch scenario as long as you have a decent jump ball receiver. So that's why I like Double Me, and I really like these other chems. Now, you guys probably know I have Patrick Mahomes currently, but I don't have him powered up, and I also can't change his abilities unless you power him up. So I'm going to show you guys on Baker Mayfield, my personal favorite when it comes to QBs. So my personal favorite, again, is going to be West Coast, obviously, but for the ability slots, you can see here we get Safety Valve, Roaming Deadeye, Gift Wrapped, Homer, Indoor Baller, and Clutch. Again, I like Roaming Deadeye. Perfect pass accuracy while standing outside the pocket. That's incredible. That is really, really good. And for his second ability, I believe I had, where was it at? Last Ditch. Now, I will say this. I tried it out. High chance to get a pass off while being sacked. It definitely worked. I was intercepted one time. Basically, what happens is you're not going to be able to get a pass, like, to a receiver but the ball will basically flop out of your hand. It would be incomplete, and you'll save yourself some yardage. But at the same time, it was intercepted one time, so I gotta work on seeing these other abilities, of course, like Gutsy Scrambling, meaning to pressure while throwing on the run. Clutch, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Consistent catching from running backs who beat their coverage. Agile extender, which is higher chance to evade the first sack by blitzing DB. And anchored extender. I haven't really tried out a bunch of chems, but I definitely like the roaming Deadeye. And then, of course, when it comes to the Superstar X Factor ability, you guys can see here, you had Gambler, can't be intercepted by AI defenders, don't care for it. Pro Reads, again, your first open receiver gets highlighted, don't care for that either. Blitz Radar highlights extra blitzes after the ball is snapped. And then you have Bazooka, which increases your throwing distance by 15 yards, that's nice. But how often are you going to be throwing like 80-yard bombs? Probably not very long or very often. Run and gun can't be intercepted by AI while throwing on the run. I mean, why not go with Gambler, I guess? Most time you're not throwing the run. I personally went with Fearless. Like I said, pressure is pretty big this year. So throwing XCs unaffected by defensive pressure. They can be someone screaming right in your face and you'll be able to get the ball off perfectly fine. You could also go with Bazooka, but I personally like Fearless. And the final thing to go over is going to be running backs. Like I said, you should do QB, wide receiver, running back, zone run on running backs, of course, in your fullback, and you're starting off to line to get that up. You get spin, juke, carry, and run block. That's very big when it comes to running the ball. Now, when it comes to chemistries, Marcus Allen is literally the GOAT of abilities. This man is insane. He has the clutch ability. Of course, I put that on him. Compared to these other ones, I mean, indoor baller, homer, spin cycle's good, but I'll show you why I don't have spin cycle on him and I clutch instead. For number 2, I'd go with backfield mismatch just because you could go with homer or indoor ball, but again, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go with backfield mismatch once you get more training, but you 110% need evasive. If you guys have not seen evasive, oh my lord, it is insane. Evasive is absolutely insane. You get ridiculously fast spin and juke moves. Like I'm talking, this is the most overpowered 100%. You need this chemistry. You 100% need this chemistry. If you can get it, get it. It is the most overpowered chemistry in the game. There's also pin and pull guru, and again, backfield mismatch. Evasive. Evasive is the best one. Of course, it's faster mission for spin and juke, which is why you don't want to go with spin cycle because it's faster spin, which so I'm pretty sure these don't go together. And then for my personal favorite, I go with first one free. You get a high fake out rate in your next juke, spin, or hurdle, which is pretty nice. I know a lot of people like to go with either wrecking ball or freight train, increased chance to break the next tackle attempt. I personally like first one's free because if you pair first one's free with already having evasive, you get faster spin and juke, and you get a higher chance to actually juke them out. I think that's pretty good. So with that being said, those are my personal favorite chemistries to run. Those are the 3 players in offense, the 3 players in defense I think you need to run them on. And of course, zone run on your running backs, fullback, and offensive linemen. Go deep, or not go deep, West Coast on your QB, your wide receivers, your tight end, and your backup linemen. Defensively for me, I run a 3-4, so I like to run pass rush on my D linemen, my outside linebackers, and my middle linebackers, I actually run lockdown, and then my safeties and corners, I run lockdown chemistry as well. With that being said, though, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. Let me know down below your guys' favorite chemistries to run. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.